The room was electric. The debate stage was set, the audience buzzing with anticipation, and the cameras capturing every micro-expression. John Kennedy, sharp and polished, had been speaking with his usual confidence, weaving facts and fervor into a rhythm that had the audience nodding and murmuring. But then, something shifted. Mark Ruffalo, sitting across the stage with his characteristic calm, leaned forward. A subtle, almost imperceptible smirk touched his lips, and the air thickened with expectation. "I'm sorry," Ruffalo said, his voice dripping with sarcasm yet measured, "but are we seriously pretending that's convincing?" The words cut through the room like a scalpel. For a moment, silence reigned, dense, heavy, the kind that makes you feel the weight of every heartbeat. Kennedy's poised smile faltered. The audience, caught between shock and curiosity, leaned in. Cameras zoomed. Even the moderators seemed momentarily lost. Ruffalo's words weren't just an interruption, they were a challenge. A mirror held up to confidence, revealing the fragile cracks beneath. It wasn't just the words themselves, it was the delivery, the calm certainty that suggested not arrogance, but deep conviction. Ruffalo had spent years learning how to observe, to read, and to respond, not as a performer, but as someone unafraid to confront pretense. Kennedy, momentarily rattled, had to recalibrate. What followed was a delicate dance of intellect and ego, of truth versus perception. Offstage, the tension continued to gnaw at both men. Kennedy retreated briefly, pacing the dimly lit corridors behind the stage. He was a man who had built his career on clarity, on poise under scrutiny, but Ruffalo's remark had pierced something deeper. It wasn't just about winning the debate, it was about authenticity, about whether the words one spoke carried weight beyond their performance. Ruffalo, meanwhile, sat quietly in his dressing room, reflecting. He wasn't trying to humiliate Kennedy, he was trying to illuminate a truth. In his mind, the public deserved more than rehearsed rhetoric, they deserved honesty, even if it was uncomfortable. It was a principle he had wrestled with for years, in moments on screen and off, when speaking up meant risking judgment. When the debate resumed, Kennedy spoke again, but this time, the tone had changed. Gone was the polished cadence, in its place was a raw sincerity that surprised the audience. He acknowledged Ruffalo's point indirectly, weaving it into his argument not as a concession, but as a recognition that truth sometimes demands humility. The audience felt it, the cameras captured it, and the debate shifted. What had started as a clash became a dialogue, a moment of shared insight. After the cameras stopped rolling, the two men met briefly backstage. There were no grand gestures, no dramatic words. Just a nod, a silent acknowledgement of the human side of the performance. Ruffalo's challenge had not destroyed Kennedy, it had reshaped him.